Good evening, I'm Byron Scott with a CTV News Update. The summer has been marked by weeks of demonstrations and unrest from coast to coast. Now dozens of law enforcement associations and houses of worship are teaming up for reconciliation. It's called the National Faith and Blue Weekend, and it's set for October. Organizers say there's too much division across the country and a lack of trust between police and the communities they serve. The numerous law enforcement associations say they are going to be teaming up with the faith community to host events they hope lead to better understanding.
You see, my friends, I think that our real challenge in America today is too often officers and citizens and residents of local communities don't know each other on a human level. That's what National Faith and Blue Weekend seeks to address.
At Major City Chiefs, we know that mutual trust and respect between law enforcement and the community is the cornerstone of sound and effective policing. Trust makes cities safer. We believe that engaging in relational policing is the best method for building a strong bond between officers and the communities that they serve.
But I want to thank all of the people who participated in a phone call a little over 3 weeks or so ago. Every single religion that you may have heard of in this country and probably around the world participated in a call to understand what Faith and Blue Weekend was all about. And it's about simple precepts: respect, honor, partnership, community, love, and doing right.
Noble remains committed to justice in the cases of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Rashard Brooks, Daniel Prude, Jacob Blake, and many more.
National Faith and Blue Weekend is October 9th through the 12th. For more information, go to faithandblue.org. Well, police are investigating a homicide in Suitland. Officers were called to the 4500 block of Rena Road at around 7 this morning. When they arrived, they found an adult male with trauma to the upper body. He was pronounced dead, police say, on the scene.
As you can see, this is a very fluid situation. We're trying to piece together what happened here. We're attempting to put together, find out if there are any suspects and motives at this time. So we're asking the public, if they have any information, to give us a call on our Crime Solvers line at 1-866-411-TIPS.
Anyone with information on this case is asked to call Crime Solvers at 1-866-411-TIPS. Meantime, police are looking for the person who fatally shot a 21-year-old man in Adelphi last night. The victim has been identified as Peyton Marshall. He was found inside a car on the 1800 block of Meserot Road. Also last night, a man was stabbed to death in Colmar Manor. He is 24-year-old Franklin Vasquez. In another case, this man faces murder charges. Donnell Brown is accused of shooting Justin Easter during an argument in Oxon Hill last Friday. Meantime, police identified the victim in last Friday's homicide in Largo. He is 39-year-old Andre Dyer. According to police, Dyer was found in Largo Center Drive suffering from multiple stab wounds. In other news, the COVID-19 death toll in Maryland now stands at 3,663. That's following a health department report of 3 new deaths today. The agency is also reporting 356 new cases of infection. The state says the COVID positivity rate is just under 4%. Meantime, State Delegate Darrell Barnes and Impact One Church are hosting free COVID testing events. They'll take place tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday. That's at 7230 Central Avenue in Capitol Heights. Well, the University of Maryland College Park is reporting a surge in coronavirus cases. The Diamondback reports that confirmed COVID-19 cases have spiked over 400% over the last several weeks. The spike comes as students move back into the College Park area. Classes are currently being held virtually, but school officials are hoping to hold in-person courses in the near future. Meantime, UMD reverses course, saying bus drivers can enforce mask usage. The change comes after a driver refused to let 2 students board because they did not have masks on. The students allegedly threw rocks at the bus, breaking some windows. The university initially sided with the students until a union representing the driver got involved. Well, the unofficial end of summer means classes are back in session for students and teachers across the state. Several school districts today started school. Anne Arundel, Harford, and Baltimore counties began virtual learning. Meantime, Governor Larry Hogan kicked off the school year by visiting Denton Elementary School, that's in Caroline County. Schools here in Prince George's reopened last week. Well, the County Council is getting back to work. Lawmakers hold their first session tomorrow following their traditional August recess. The meeting, which begins at 1 p.m., will be held virtually. They'll consider a measure to make June 19th, known as Juneteenth Day, a holiday here in Prince George's County. They'll also consider a zoning measure to allow eating and drinking establishments in certain residential areas. Well, a new report by the Washington Metro Rail Safety Commission describes the agency's Rail Operations Center as a toxic workplace. A 50-page audit of the Operations Center came out today. It says employees are bullied, racially and sexually harassed, and they're told by managers to ignore operating procedures. Despite several deadly incidents over the years, the report says Metro still has not created an effective safety culture. And Metro's 91 stations are now fully open. After months of construction work, summer station closures have ended. The transit agency reconstructed several aging platforms at Orange Line stations, including Vienna and Dunloring. And a grieving mother says she's upset and angry that her son's killer will be released from prison soon. John Scales was murdered in 2007 in front of his father at their Clinton barbershop. Terrace Luckett wrongly suspected that Scales and his wife were having an affair. He was not held criminally responsible for killing both of them. Now, after 13 years of prison and psychiatric care, Luckett will be released soon.
Every gunshot that man put in Johnny, he shot Johnny 7 times. He shot his wife 33 times. And he's coming out in the public. What he did to Johnny, as I told both judges, he's going to do it again. They said he may be a threat to the public, but he may not be. He may be a threat to himself, but he may not be. So this is what we have to live with. I have not slept a whole night since in 13 years, and I probably will not sleep another night that he's going to be out.
The state's attorney's office has opposed his release. Lawmakers are pushing for a posthumous Medal of Honor for a Maryland World War II veteran. U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen, along with Congressmen David Trone and Anthony Brown, say Corporal Waverly Woodson should be honored for his selfless heroism. Woodson was an Army medic who treated an estimated 200 men for 30 hours during the D-Day invasion in 1944 after being struck by a shell. While honored with a Bronze Star as a black soldier, he wasn't given consideration for the Medal of Honor. Well, are you hesitant to get on a plane or even go to the airport during the pandemic? A D.C.-based business has created travel sanitizer kits to help make your trip safer. They contain essential items that you can put into your carry-on bags, including antibacterial wipes, airport bin covers, and hand sanitizer. So far, thousands of bags have been sold since the business launched about 2 months ago. Founder Robbie Stanfield, who also owns a travel firm, says virus fears prompted cancellations.
I know that same fear is shared by a lot of people. And then there's people who, aren't taking the proper precautions, whether it's a major airline or just individuals who are refusing to put their mask on, just simple things. So we really wanted to create a kit where people could feel like they're taking ownership of their spaces that they occupy.
For more details, visit shopscumbag.com. And that's all the news for tonight. I'm Byron Scott. Good night.
For the latest information on COVID-19 in Maryland, visit the State Health Department website. That's health.maryland.gov. Again, health.maryland.gov. Click the link to the COVID-19 information portal. There you'll find all of the latest information about coronavirus. You'll find daily updates on cases and fatalities. Answers to questions about testing and the governor's stay-at-home order are available as well. For specific information about Prince George's, visit PrinceGeorgesCountyMD.GOV. That's PrinceGeorgesCountyMD.GOV. The site offers information about local services for residents and businesses. There's a link for COVID-19 relief donations. Also, food pantry locations are listed. And if you have any questions, call the county COVID-19 hotline at 301-883-6627. That's 301-883-6627.
You're looking at me in the future. Okay. Hi, Isaac.
Hi.
Wait a second.
Do Do you know who I am?
Julia.
This is Jaina. Into the future.
I just wanted to talk to you about what happened with those two girls.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember it was this girl that I was getting bullied by that one day at PE when they were like yelling at me, and then you just linked arms with me? I don't think you know how much like that helped me, because like I finally like knew that I had somebody. Because of you, Isaac, and what you did for me years ago, I grew up to be more independent and love myself and just be a little bit more confident.
Aw, I'm like a little tearing up right now. Just to see her in the future just blossom and look beautiful, and that was really amazing.
You're looking at me in the future. Okay. Hi, Isaac.
Hi.
Wait a second.
Do you know who I am?
Julia.
This is Jaina. Into the future.
I just wanted to talk to you about what happened with those two girls.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember it was this girl that I was getting bullied by that one day at PE when they were like yelling at me, and then you just linked arms with me? I don't think you know how much like that helped me, because like I finally like knew that I had somebody. Because of you, Isaac, and what you did for me years ago, I grew up to be more independent and love myself and just be a little bit more confident.
Aw, I'm like a little tearing up right now. Just to see her in the future just blossom and look beautiful, and that was really amazing.
Here are your AARP top tips on caregiver preparedness during coronavirus. First, form a caregiving team. Create a list of people in your family and friend network who can help with caregiving tasks. Take an inventory of supplies in your loved one's home. Try to have a 2-week supply of essential items. Make a list of the care recipient's medications and medical contacts. Be sure to have prescriptions on hand and ask the pharmacist for an extra 30-day supply. Make a plan to stay connected. To prevent social isolation, set up available technology to help loved ones stay connected and schedule regular chats. Finally, maintain your own self-care. Follow the Centers for Disease Control's guidelines for coronavirus safety. And have a backup plan for care in case you become ill. For more caregiving tips during the coronavirus pandemic, go to aarp.org/caregiving.
I moved to Florida with literally pennies in my pocket and a prayer. I needed a new start. Dacian looks like a very typical 3-year-old until you ask him, "What's your name? How old are you?" My son has a lot of behaviors that would show as being autistic. Most kids can tolerate a variety of foods, but unfortunately for Dacian, everything has to be organic and raw. I wasn't ashamed to go to the food pantries. It's expensive to eat healthy, and nutrition is very important to Dacian's health. The healthy organic food that we receive dramatically helped his social skills. Most people would say, she really doesn't have much of a life, but to me, I have everything right there next to me and my son.
I am what child hunger looks like in America. I am a 9-year-old boy who hopes a friend invites me to a sleepover so I can have dinner. I am a 15-year-old girl who goes for walks during lunch so my friends won't know I don't have anything to eat. I am a 13-year-old boy who gets into fights at school just because I'm hungry. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 7 American children who struggle with hunger. Kids you pass by every day but never knew they were hungry.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.